everybody, Sajay's here, going to be doing another Transformers review. Just got in from work and this is my first time back to work after a long time, and they've got me on light duties, but you know, either it's still my heart problem playing me up, or just I'm not used to it. But man, do I feel tired today. But not tired enough to do a review I was meaning to do for ages before all of this trouble started, because I had just got him at the time. So, bit delayed, but here he finally is. As the title page, the toy I'm going to be reviewing is Energon Landmine, or Landquake, or on BotCon I think he was called Landshark, which actually you can sort of see a sharkish look to him. In bio-wise, I'm not too big on this character, actually. He appears in Energon. He comes in with Rodimus and Prowl. But he's really just a background character, really. He doesn't really do an awful lot. He is a big-ass bruiser. You know, he does kick Decepticon butt with the best of them, but you know, the bio wasn't the thing that interested me in this toy. It's the toy itself, because look at that. That is gorgeous. Oh, I love this so much. Compared to the other Autobots, he is not a Power Link figure. His gimmick is the same as Bulkhead's, in the fact that he has part of his vehicle mode actually detaches and becomes combat armor. So, moving on onto the toy itself, this is his vehicle mode, and he's sort of like a Mad Max tow truck. But oh, I just look at that. That's just gorgeous. Really nice. I was so happy when I got him off of eBay. Really happy. You know, it's all the nice little touches. You know, they've put nice engine detailing on the front, its actual scoop, you know, nice detailing on the tires, on the big ass rear treads. You got these nice smokestacks, and also one little thing, if the camera's being generous to me today, look, little molded in seats and little windscreen wipers. I love those touches, I really do. You know, even his Autobot symbol is just gorgeous on this figure. You know, and even when you get to the back, you know, compared to his counterpart, which is Bulkhead, the drone section, well, the armor section, which combines in his vehicle mode, one thing I love about Landmine is the fact that it's color-coded to blend in. So when it is combined, it looks perfectly fine where it is, whereas with Bulkhead, which is another character I will do a review on soon, well, you'll see it when I do the review, but let's just say they clash ever so slightly. One little gimmick he has on here is, of course, his tow hook, which is, any of you who are familiar with animated Black Arachnia, same lovely system. Pull the button, pull the hook out, and push the button. And just like Black Arachnia, this will actually pull quite a lot. You can pull a figure, I was about to say pull a figure off, but double entendres aside, let's just say it's got force to pull stuff. And he's also got this rear cannon, which is quite nice. It did have a firing projectile, but I don't think I got one. But look, even the gun barrel on this thing is beautifully detailed. You know, like the extra gauze on the nozzle and stuff like that. Really nice figure. Really do love this thing. The only complaint I can see with this thing is, if you look just behind the shovel, you can see it's hollow, and it is. But one little touch is due to transformation, because because these will become his legs. These two sections are actually on an angle, and I just loved the engineering they took to actually get the pecos perfect. So he's got these really nice round front arches, and the wheels actually are perfectly in line with each other. That is cool. Now, to separate him into his basic vehicle mode, we just pull the back off, which there it goes. And then we get to the downside. This is Landmine, normal Landmine, and I think you could buy this figure deluxe without the power armor. I can't remember, to be honest. But this is him without it, and it's still nice. It's a nice little tractor cab, but the back just looks wrong. It needs that, in my opinion. You know, even the scale just looks wrong. But I still quite like it. It's still fairly gimmicky, but it does reveal a lot more of robot mode, i.e. you can see his folded up fists and arms. So it's okay, but if I do display him in vehicle mode, I always put the drone section combined. Now the drone itself does transform into its battle drone mode, and the way we do this is we fold these down, we fold the treads up. I always forget how to do this. It's not really a transformation, it's just sort of like just fiddling with things till you get something that looks drone-ish. But yeah, if memory serves, that is the battle drone. No big woo. Bulkhead's battle drone deployment is a lot better, and you can separate the front. Yeah, that's what I'm doing wrong. So it looks like it's got independent legs. It's not the best. It's not the best. Bulkhead's one is a lot nicer. But the main thing with, as I find with Landmine, is this is what it should be, is battle armor, and we will put this on in a second. If I seem like I'm rambling too much today, or just a bit not fully with it, like I said, I haven't been well for a while, and going back to work has seriously KO'd me today. Majorly. Okay, transforming Landmine himself. We split the front apart, like so, and we fold this section up. Next, we pull the back down, and we extend the legs out. Now the scoop, for it to all line up perfectly, look at the amount of hinges they put on this thing. Crazy amount. Now there's a little peg on there which will go into his shin. Peg that on. Then we got his feet. Next we pull the back wheels down. I always bring the arms up at this point. Nice ratchets on that section. And we fold them apart. We then fold all of this back. Pull out the head. Lock that down. And like Energon Optimus, he's got one of them push the two buttons in and push the fists out. Crotch ain't connected. There we go. And here we have Landmine in robot mode, and he is a nice looking bot. Look at that face sculpt alone. Light piping working lovely. I just love on how he's looking for a clear visor. And then we got his Energon star connector. But all in all, nice proportions on this. Really nice proportions. And even from the rear, still looking nice. Articulation on this mode is head will do a full 360. He will rotate at the shoulder. His arm will go out. And listen to that. Sexy. He is will bend at the elbows. No rotation at the wrist. He will move at the hips, and he'll go out to the side, and he's got that lovely little panel to cover up the joint. He will rotate above the knee, he will bend at the knee, and because I forgot to take out his rear foot spurs. Because this whole front of his foot is just held in with a peg, he actually does have rotation actually on the foot there. So he is a very, very stable figure, considering he's got them big feet. And another character you really wouldn't want kicking you in the ghoulies. Yeah, this is another one of them figures which the 10-year-old never dies in any of us, does it? I still find that funny. The only other thing you can sort of do... Oh yeah, I forgot he also rotates at the shoulder. One other little thing you can do, you can actually rotate the smokestacks along. So it actually looks like he's got an arm blaster. But... that's odd. He's got the... No, it's just he's got the emblem there. The spark to combine. But he doesn't combine with another Autobot. Now we get on to the part of the transformation of this figure I hate. We now take his combat drone. Now, I like it when stuff slots together. I like it when it pegs together. I hate it when you physically gotta force, when you can feel plastic being forced upon plastic to pull something off. Oh, I really hate this part. Which is, you gotta work the back tread and put a lot of force, and I don't like doing that. I know it's gonna break one day. I know it's gonna break. Ugh. Really don't like doing that. Okay, so I've taken his treads off. With this section, you want to fold these upright to become fins. We then rotate this section and put the weapons up so they're parallel. So these two pegs are like horizontal. Oh, one little thing. I must have taken batteries out at some point. But one really, really nice thing I like is I hate soundboxes in toys. I hate it. I really do hate it. I know these are designed for kids, but kids are over that gimmick by now. They really are. It isn't like when they brought it in for G2. And I hate it when so many figures have been ruined with soundboxes. Armada Scavenger, for example. Cybertron Menasor, the fact. Energon Shockwave. You know, the fact that he's got this huge gargantuan arm. Why? Because he's got to hold in a speaker, circuit board, and batteries. I really hate it. But saying that, if I'll put it into his backpack, that actually, for a soundbox and a transformer, that's quite small. That is quite small. So I do like, that's a plus. And the way we transform it is we peg these two into here, and again, you gotta force it. Only bad thing with this figure, and also one thing I'll just stress is this back section, this like little backpack he wears. It's not the strongest of joints to be forcing on, and it really feels a bit flimsy sometimes when you're pushing this together. I really don't like doing that. Next we want to put his hands back in. And you want to rotate the hand so these two pegs are now on the outside of the body. Just because it's a bit easier that way. And then on his treads he has two peg holes on the inside, and this will link over and lock, and we get the claws out. Do the same on the other side. And we bring the claws out again. And this is Landmine in his armor mode, and also in the cartoon, what I remember of it anyway, this is the mode, usually when he went in robot mode, this is usually what he'd be in. He'd rarely be in his actual standard bot mode, he'd always be in his armored up mode. Pluses and good things and bad things about this mode from my perspective. I'm not a big fan that there's no third finger coming up the middle, so it could actually form an actual proper claw. I don't really like that, but I do like the graphical touches, like the paint scrapings they did on the end of his claws. You lose a bit of articulation because of this extra bit protrudes longer than the actual elbow, and it does give him a fairly like gorilla-ish look now. It definitely it beefs him up, I will admit, it beefs him up, but I don't know, the arms, given that when I showed you Landmine before, he was lovely and in proportion, and something about them, about the arm armor, really does bug me. He's also one of them characters who, unless he's looking straight ahead and through an extremely narrow space, he wouldn't be able to see anybody. You know, it'd be like looking through a letterbox the rest of your life on a battlefield. You're not really going to see an awful lot of what's going on around you. I do like these fins on how it looks like he could fly if he wished. But definitely for display purposes, I'm balancing him here on my hand, and despite all that extra weight, where's my camera? There we are. Very, very stable. Them feet he has, really, really good at keeping this figure up, and the fact that he's still got that, he has that movement, really helps stabilize this figure, and he does display well. He is definitely a good character from Energon. Well, I think I've rambled long enough, primarily because I now plan to go eat something, have a shower, and go to bed. So, also I think this is my longest review. So if you managed to stick all the way through this, through my tiring rambling, you're a trooper, and God bless you. So this has been SciJs, and this has been Energon Landmine, saying have a good day, have a good evening, whatever the time it is. Make sure you're having a good one. Hopefully next time you see me, I'll be a bit more awake, and catch you later.